I want you to imagine opening up your closet and only seeing the clothes that make you feel powerful, they make you feel beautiful, you feel loved inside of them. Because too often we stay stuck in outdated versions of ourselves. We don't let go of our old wardrobe. And often our wardrobe dictates how we feel. And so I want you to be able to move past your wardrobe. It's time to let go of those old things and embrace a style that serves you and reflects you in today's season. The one that you're walking in right now, the one that is that incredible woman you are today. And because I want the world to see who you are. Have you ever felt trapped by your own closet? That's like the first step to decluttering, is to recognize where you are sitting in your current closet. And it might sound strange, but I kind of relate this to those monkeys where the hunters would trap the monkeys but by putting a jar where there's a hole that's just barely enough for their hand to fit through. And then when the monkeys go in and grab that fruit or the peanut or whatever it is they're going after, once their fist is made, they can't get it back through that hole. And so they're trapped. That is how I kind of see our closets because, once the hand gets stuck, and they can't release it, that's what's holding them back, is the not letting go. And in that way, it's very similar to being stuck in the past in our closets and not being willing to let go. Many midlife women, we hold on to those clothes, the ones that remind us of our younger years in our pre-mama days. And if you haven't become a mama, just in those teen and 20s styles when we were teeny people. And sadly, those clothes end up often being painful reminders of who we used to be. Yet they keep us locked up in a cycle of self-criticism and shame in the day we are of who we are today. And, I cannot stand that. I did the same exact thing. So I'm able to talk about this today because I've been there. I held on to those teeny tiny clothes. I'm 5'11", but there was days where I lived in a size 2 and a size 4, and I held on to those clothes. It was only, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years ago that I even let go of them, but they just reminded me of that pre-mama body. And I kept telling myself I was holding on to them as inspiration. Yet that inspiration is what had me walking in shame, feeling terrible about myself because I couldn't get back to those days no matter how hard I tried, right? Those items, they didn't actually end up inspiring me the way that I thought they would. The funny thing is because of the shame that I was living in, I lived in a lot of grays, a lot of things that were blended, my sweatpants, mama jeans, right? But the truth is, throwing my hair up in a ponytail, avoiding makeup, wearing those grays and those sweatpants, all they did was when I looked in the mirror, I saw nothing special. I saw something that made me want to hide. So those grays helped me hide. Those old beliefs that I lived in made me not feel good enough. They kept me trapped. They kept me in a place where I couldn't actually be who I was meant to be because I was holding on to that past that kept me in shame. And so the moment I decided to let go of those clothes and those items, it was the first step to breaking free, discovering myself, and being able to walk into the person that I actually am for this season. And I know I've talked about this many times before because I discovered some of that purpose. And then my first step of action was going through my closet and then discovering who I was there. And I needed to release those clothes from my past that no longer fit me, no longer served me, and actually kept me trapped in the past and in negative feelings. I couldn't move into new clothes that made me feel amazing and feel more like myself until I released all of that and let it go. So I want you right now, this is your action step for this week. I want you to go through your closet. I want you to let go of anything that doesn't serve you anymore, anything that's keeping you trapped, anything that is serving you in a negative way. So if you're feeling shame or you're feeling less than, or you're feeling like you're not able to keep up, or just whatever it is that you are feeling, if you feel that about that clothing item, it's time to say goodbye. Um, saying goodbye to those clothes. I even had to say goodbye to even the current clothes I was wearing, because they were leaving me in that shame cycle. I didn't feel good when I put them on. And so I want you to just think through in that mindset as well, like anything that is making you sit in those negative emotions, they've got to go. I want you to make room for that person that you are right now, the real you, the one that can't be seen when you're hiding, right? The one that is special, the one that makes you feel special when you actually tap into that person inside of you. That's the one that the Lord designed you to be. That's who He put you on this earth to be. So when we're talking about decluttering our closet, there's tons of resources out there about how to do it, the steps to do it. But this isn't just about getting rid of something. This is about clearing space. It's about creating room for the real you. So we're creating room for that wardrobe that's going to reflect who you truly are and who you want to be, the one you want the world to see. Okay? So now that we've started to let go of some clothes that no longer serve you, the next crucial step is to also make sure, before we go into talking about your true style and how to discover that, is to declutter those not so obvious pieces. And this one, it can feel a little bit awkward to talk about if you don't typically talk about your undergarments, but we're talking about that hidden clutter, the things that actually chip away at your confidence that you don't even realize. So we're talking about those things like holey socks, worn out underwear, sports bras that don't support you anymore. That's what I'm talking about. And it's really interesting because we often tell ourselves that it doesn't matter because no one sees them. But what you just did when you said that is you called yourself a nobody. You see them. You know they're there. And here's what's funny, those seemingly insignificant items have a major impact in how you feel about yourself. Okay. And so when you start your day with those items that make you feel less than or unworthy, or worn out, even these items like holy socks, stretched out underwear, they're sending a message to yourself. And that message can set the tone of your day. It can set the tone for how you carry yourself. Okay. And so that's what I want you to think about. So before you go exploring these new clothes that you want to express yourself and your style, I know that's the most fun and exciting part. And I am here for you when we get there. But I want you to do a sweep of your closet. In your drawers, if that's where you store those items. Get rid of those things that make you feel bad about yourself, no matter how minor it seems, and replace them with pieces that make you feel worthy, valued, pretty, right? Remember, you are important enough. You, just you alone, are important enough to dress up and show up for your normal everyday life. So even if you don't ever plan on stepping outside of your house that day, it's important to have those undergarments that make you feel strong, they make you feel beautiful, and all of that. So think of it this way. You deserve to be set up for success in the best, amazing day possible. And that includes the clothes that you see and the clothes you don't see. That is a gift you're giving yourself. Okay? All right. So now that we've cleared out even those what seem like insignificant items, the ones that don't honor who you are or how you want to feel about yourself, we're now moving into the most exciting part. Discovering and embracing your style and fashion sense. It's not just about fashion because this is the billboard that you show the world, like who you are, what you stand for, what you want them to know about you. And so it really is important. But this is where you get to show the world how incredible and how special you are. And it's how you also show yourself how special you are and how incredible you are. You won't believe how much confidence starts being built by just honoring yourself by getting rid of those holy socks, you know? But here's the key. it we're again, we're not just replacing old and moving in new. We are consciously dressing the woman you are now, the woman you are becoming, the woman you want to be, the woman you're meant to be on this earth. Okay. So let's not, when we go into these stores, let's not fall into the trap of shopping those old stores, the stores that you used to shop at, right? The ones that you shop out of habit. And the reason for that is, those stores, they may have fit the person you were in your past, but they also can bring along with them the same feelings you had when you looked at those older clothes in your closet, the things that make you feel like you're not good enough or shame, feel shame for where you're at today. It's really interesting. I had to move from shopping the stores that I shopped in my 20s and 30s into something that was a little more sophisticated or a little bit more in the season that I'm in now. I find that I like to be in department stores because they have variety and different things, but I have to stay away from the junior section, okay? Because that junior section makes me feel like a giant. But I want you to think about who you are today. Look at where you want to shop in that filter. We're also not trying to follow trends. Those trends aren't all there to support the woman that you are or to tell the world who you are authentically. So, what I want you to do is if you used the workbook in the previous sessions where we talked about purpose, I want you to pull those notes out because those are good building blocks for where we're going to go with your clothes. I know it seems like a really odd connection, but that's where we're going to go. Because what you're going to do is you're going to look at your purpose, your dreams, and your goals. And I want you to visualize that woman. How does she dress? What message does she want to send the world through her wardrobe? And a great way to get ideas, because, this isn't a place we've lived, so it's hard to sometimes to conjure up thoughts for answers to those questions. And so I like to go to Pinterest for this. And what's really lovely about Pinterest is the more content gets on there, the more the algorithms make it easier to search things. So you can go in and you can search terms like 40-year-old woman or midlife woman. And you can say, now a lot of the times they don't necessarily tag the size, but you can say petite, tall, plus size, just whatever it is. And then once you put in the descriptors like that, I then want you to put in a descriptor about your personality. So for me, it would be bold and classic. I like to keep things simple, but I like to have a spark of bold, just like these bright blue earrings I'm wearing. And then if you want to, you can say what style of clothing you're looking for at that time, like fitness clothing or everyday styles or just whatever. And then see what it throws at you and save all the ones that even spark an interest. And I don't even want you to think too hard about this. Just quick reaction. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Then what you'll do is you'll look at the big picture of everything you saved, and you're going to see kind of some patterns take place. You'll start seeing things that resonate. And then when you go back through, you'll kind of be able to picture yourself in it or you won't. And then you'll be like, I'm going to delete that and fine tune it down. And you can do this, in as short as 15 minutes or an hour or however long you want to spend. I wouldn't spend too much time here because you can easily move into shame or again, right? Or into other emotions you don't want to be. But this is just kind of like a fact-finding mission for you. But look at the trends that you're drawn to. And then look at the clues, through the styles, the colors, the cuts, that's the other thing. When you go in the description, you can say pear-shaped body or just whatever shaped body you have. And they're going to even throw you some great ideas there. But you'll start kind of tuning in because you put your personality in there. It should actually even throw you things that might fit in that regard. And here's the beauty of it. So once you have kind of like that grand big picture of things, look at where some of these clothes came from, the brands, the styles, the department stores. And I want you to spend a day shopping, not for the purpose of purchasing, but what I want you to do is I want you to experiment, try on those clothes. See what they do to your body. See if you love it. Notice how they fit. Notice how they feel. You might learn that you don't like certain fabrications. What emotions come up? Does it make you smile? If something doesn't feel right and you're hesitating and you're like, I like it, but I want you to just set it aside. Don't even think about it. But start building a picture of what aligns and doesn't align with your vision of how you see yourself being in this next season and where you want to go. Again, I want to be very clear. We're not looking at trends unless if you are the type of personality who want to chase down trends and spend a lot of money. That's totally fine too. But I want you to look at things that fit who you are. And the reason why I say that is those styles are timeless. They're authentic. They reflect your person on the inside, on the outside for the world to see. And that is, again, it's timeless. It's beautiful. It's something that will never really go out of style because you'll always look good in it as long as you feel good in it. But when you dress for your personality, it shows the world who you are on the inside. And people fall in love with you by just looking at you. You don't even have to say a word because they can see that what they're seeing on the outside, you feel good in it. It feels authentic. They see you for who you are. That's what I learned when I started dressing this way. And it was beautiful because I no longer felt like I had to hide. I felt like I wasn't being misunderstood anymore. All of a sudden, it was like people saw me for the real person I was. And it was just beautiful. Something really magical happened inside, and the Lord was able to move in my spirit in a way that I had never done before, all because I was willing to let go of the past and being trapped there in the shame that I was feeling. And I was able to step forward into the light. It's kind of like confession for the body when you are able to move into decluttering and moving into your sense of style. Here is a golden rule that I like to live by when I go shopping and I'm actually purchasing something, because I do like to go to the store just to try on clothes with no purpose in buying anything. But when you go and you're buying, I want you to only buy pieces that make you feel like an 8 to a 10. You have to feel fantastic. It has to put a smile on your face. You have to look at yourself and go, wow, you look good in this. And I don't care what size you are. I don't care how much you weigh. I don't care how tall you are, how short you are. Everyone, when they find the clothes that are meant for them, find something that make them feel fantastic. And so that's what we're trying to do here. So don't settle for something that just feels okay. All right. Those won't cut it. Not for this next season of your life. You're about to catapult yourself into the next season of your life, and it is going to be fantastic and amazing. So when you wear these pieces, when you buy something and wear something that makes you just feel okay, guess how you set yourself up for the day. You feel just okay, and you're not able to align with yourself, the best version of yourself. You're not able to think the best thoughts about yourself. And so this is what I'm talking about. So when you find an 8 to a 10, you live in the energy of an 8 to a 10 for the day because you set yourself up to be in that 8 to a 10. You're able to show up in a way that's not self-conscious about what you've got on. When someone wants to take a photo of you, you're not trying to hide behind everyone. You're like, all right, let's do this. Okay. And when you have an important meeting or a conversation, you're able to show up and be the real you because you're not worried about all of this. And that's what I want for you. Because your thoughts and your feelings and your actions need to align where you're trying to go. And if your outfit doesn't make you feel amazing, you'll think and feel and show up that way. And so if you feel amazing, you'll think amazing thoughts, you'll act amazing, you'll behave amazing, you'll show up amazing everywhere. So take some time to shop for inspiration. Don't think that this can be a step that gets skipped, because this is where you discover a lot about yourself. You discover if you are a bold person, because when you put on those bold colors, do they show up on you in a way that makes you feel authentic? Or if you're a graceful, flowy person, does it make you feel graceful and flowy the way you thought you were? I used to think I was more of a graceful, flowy girl, and I do have that in me. But I found out that that bold and dynamic and classic really was a better fit for me. Make sure that you don't skip this step. And that way you're able to find these style choices that fit you, the incredible woman that you are. I have loved so much spending time with you today. This is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world is to help you find that purpose and then start finding practical steps for walking it out. Um, you know, it may feel silly thinking that clothes can have such a major impact, but the truth of it is they really do affect how you step into your life that day. And so we're going to go ahead and move into more ways of how to, in this next season, reclaim that part of you that helps you discover those things and who you're trying to become. I hope empowers you to take action and start showing up as your authentic self in your best way possible. But if you feel like you need more personalized help and you don't want to do the DIY, just listening and going through the workbook and trying to discover this on your own, I am here for you. Feel free to reach out to me at Michelle at Michelle Day Rose in email or DM me on socials at Michelle Day Rose. Um, I want to help you find your authentic self. And believe it or not, this is fairly easy to do even through the online digital world. So reach out. If you do want to do the DIY, there's a workbook in the Facebook group. Go join the Facebook group, get the workbook, and go through that step by step guide. But next week, I'm so excited. This is going to be our last of the year episode, and we're going to be talking about decluttering your kitchen. And why are we talking about that next week? Part of it is because we're about to move into the holidays, and this is a really great time to assess all the things you have in your kitchen. But it's also, if we wait until the holidays when everything gets busy and then we move into that new year, new you season, it's often too late to do the prep work. So I want to set you up for success so that when you move into that new year, new you, you've already done the things to help yourself succeed with that healthier version of yourself in that new year of 2025. So I thought that would be a really great way to end the year in our live streams and a great way to pick up in the next year. So anyway, I can't wait to see you guys next week, and I will find you in the Facebook group. Talk to you soon.